we ask Face the Music to come in, because they provide an experience that not only is a diagnostic for the current condition, but it also is a venue for learning something different through actually feeling it. Rather than just hearing it in their heads or being in a classroom, they actually get to engage fully with different parts of themselves. And from that, then they can apply the learning of the rest of the work that we're doing in a different way. People really feel like they can access different parts of themselves, and when you do that, then you actually hear things differently. So the same old that they would normally experience in any training sounds just a little bit different. And that especially works when you get higher up in the organization, because they really have done every kind of management training, leadership training, integration. So this is a different way of hearing the same material. Every culture has its own relationship with risk. And so that is something that I think Face the Music is really good at, and that is, first of all, asking what that is, and then understanding what that is, and then being able to create a program that really fits within the culture so that they don't have to risk anything that would undermine the learning that needs to take place. So they just know that this is not something they're trying to inject into the organization against their will. This is something that needs to fit for them. I had a client once where they had a leadership meeting, and they had just merged with another company. And so they had this big meeting in Baden-Baden, Germany. And one of the things that we did was hire Face the Music. The part that really worked, that they still actually talk about this, was the Face the Music part. Again, for all the reasons that the normal consulting didn't work, too many cultures, too much at stake, too much investment in what each person's and company's former perspective had been, disappeared and was totally an asset for Face the Music and what they brought, because it was music, because they could sing in any language they wanted to, and I think they actually did. Some people were solos, which was interesting. Some people were groups. They really had an amazing time. And to this day, and I think that was in 2000, to this day, I still hear, because I still work with that company, I still hear people talking about what an amazing experience Face the Music was for them.
Well, we racked our brains to try and figure out what to do. It's a big group, but we wanted something that would let people let loose and really have a good time and work together. And when we heard about this, it just seemed perfect.
Absolutely. I'm a great fan of music, and when I heard about the possibility of singing or writing a song, my eyes immediately lit up, and it was certainly something I wanted to explore more.
I thought it went fantastically well. I mean, you can imagine 85 somewhat uptight lawyers. It takes a lot to get them to really relax and get into that. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves.
The feedback that I've gotten thus far is that everyone really enjoyed the exercise and appreciated the ability to sort of step outside of their comfort zones.
And it really did provide an opportunity to practice teamwork. I mean, you really did have to cooperate in the writing of the song. So it accomplished all the goals that we had.
Absolutely. I would agree with that, and just underscore the fact that, oftentimes with 80 or so lawyers from around the globe, there are cultural differences. People are more comfortable with certain presentation styles as opposed to others. But I think this sort of thing had enough levity that people could sort of not take themselves so seriously and sort of get into it and really have a good time, which is what I saw when I saw people up there singing their songs. People really seemed to get into it.
And it wound up really well. And the excitement in the room, and the fun in the room, and the camaraderie in the room, wonderful. Everyone walked out of here having a great time tonight. And that's what's the most important part of it. They had a great time, but they learned. And there was a bit more bonding that went on with the group. We worked with them on an individual basis, helping them to get the song, rehearsing the song, giving them some ideas, and just generally giving it a 1 on, let's say, 5 or 6, rather than just staying in the front. Mm-hmm. That part, I think, really set the mode and really got them so much more involved in it, because they could relate to you guys on a one-on-one. And I was surprised. I didn't know you were going to do that. It's about pushing your boundaries so that it improves whatever they're working on, whether it be their sales or their experience with each other. But that's what this does. It pushes you just a little outside that comfort zone to have you kind of open up. Because they're with their peers within an employee, it's still a safe environment.
You were kind enough to really tailor what you did to our particular industry and our particular conference theme, and it just worked out great. I mean, we couldn't be more pleased. And again, I've heard comments that range from awesome to really awesome. This was, number one, a great icebreaker. Number two, a lot of fun. And number three, it allowed people to really talk about issues going on in the workplace. They're able to come together and really begin to talk to each other about some potential solutions and some things that they can do to benefit their organizations. The feedback has, to the man, been outstanding. I mean, they really thought it was a great experience. They were amazed that they were able to do what they did, which I thought we had some quite good songs.